Hi, I'm here with Bill Kleyman from Swithc. Hi, Bill.
Hey, how are you guys?
Bill, first of all, how was your travel? What do you think about Mexico City and the event?
Everything has been absolutely wonderful. Me encanta México, me encanta la gente, me encanta esta conferencia, but we can do this in English as well because it's going to be a lot easier. It's been absolutely wonderful. One of the big things that I've taken away certainly is that the Latin American market is just on on the edge of blowing up and becoming a part of this really connected world. So it's really just exciting to be meeting with people, networking, talking about a lot of fun things.
Okay, thank you very much. So the first question is, what is expected to be the impact of 5G for the design of future data centers?
So we've been talking about 5G. Now, if you haven't heard about this yet, it's okay. You can stop listening to me. You can go Google it and check it out what it is. To very simply put it, 5G is the next iteration of how we're going to be connecting, working with different kinds of content, really consuming rich applications and services, right? We went from 2G, 3G, 4G, long-term evolution, LTE, now we're at this next phase of connectivity. Now, long answer, what does that mean for the data center? You're going to see a greater impact on the data center community because it's not going anywhere. 5G isn't necessarily for cloud, but it is for how we use cloud, all of our data center resources. You're going to see a boom. You're going to see more growth in edge and distributed environments because we simply have to be able to process data as close to the source, you guys, as possible. And a part of that is how we connect, create new kinds of networks like 5G, create levels of density, and again, expand our data center footprint. So if anything, I really think that new technologies like 5G are going to be impacting our data centers, the way we create and design these kind of architectures. And what's really cool is that we are going to be bringing this digital connectivity, leveraging things like 5G and low latency to rural, remote, and developing areas. That's where I think it's going to be the coolest. We're going to be helping people do great things with technology.
Okay, very nice. Thank you. The next one is, how will this affect the Internet of Things?
You know, it's funny to talk about the world of IoT, and I want everyone listening to this. How will 5G connectivity impact IoT? How connected are you? Yeah, I'm looking at you right now. How connected are you right now? Do you have, maybe some kind of a smart home device? Do you have an Apple Watch? Do you have a telephone? You didn't have this stuff in the past. In the year 2000, do you know what we used to do with phones? We used to make phone calls. Now we check our banking, check our Facebook, we go on social media. We've changed the way we leverage all of these connected things. And to be honest with you, this world of connectivity will become our new normal, the way we do life, the way we talk with people, and even in new emerging places like third world countries, they're becoming connected as well. So it goes without saying that I think there was a really interesting report that I read that by the end of 2022, there are going to be 5 times the connected devices that there are people in the world per person. Think about that. 5 times the population of the world in terms of connected devices. Are you surprised? How many do you have in front of you right now? And this is only going to continue to develop and evolve. And again, all of these connected things, some of them are really smart like your phone, some of them are, I don't want to call them stupid, but they have very specific purposes, like a door sensor or a water sensor. They're there only to tell you if there's a flood or if the door is open, but they're connected things. They create data, and that data has to be stored and processed, and it's not benign data, it's valuable information. So a couple of quick facts from Bill. The world is going to get more connected. You can't hide from that. You're going to get more connected. The world is going to be leveraging this connectivity to do more things productively, to help people be more productive, and also change and evolve lives. And the most important thing is that digital transformation, this whole word about IoT and 5G, it's here. You're a part of it, whether you like it or not. Now is the time for you to understand all these connected things, how they're going to be impacting the data center, because let me be honest, you're going to have a smarter data center. You're going to have IoT smart sensors to create not just an inline capability to manage your data center, but one capability that's predictive and prescriptive. Whole new game for a digitally connected data center environment. So for everyone listening, this is going to become the way we work and the way we think and the way we interact with each other. And the data center is that underlying digital foundation that helps support it all. Connectivity is not going anywhere. It's not. It is designed to make our lives easier, but we have to create a supportive architecture that allows this to make it easier for us to consume.
Okay, thank you, Bill. And the last one is, how is it expected to be a hyper-connected world in the next decade?
So definitely it's going to be a hyper-connected world. And when you're working with people, there's another term called hyperscale, right? Being able to work with an architecture that can support your growth, support your connectivity, and support your requirements. And when you work with trusted suppliers and people in this industry, and this is my biggest piece of advice to you guys, is to make sure you can understand the difference between hype connectivity versus actual hyper connectivity. Do you have the latency? Do you have the bandwidth? Do you have the connectivity? Do you have the underlying resources and infrastructure to support all of this? It's absolutely fascinating to see what's happening in developing countries. We're not putting up telephone poles in these places. We're not. We're connecting via satellites. We're connecting via smarter, smaller computers that can be charged via a crank. I've seen this in villages in rural Africa where they're trying to get children to consume more education, learn more, and become more educated as part of the world. There's these little devices, little Android-based laptops that you can crank them, and they give you power. And in local connectivity aspects give you little hubs to connect these little devices to. So all of a sudden, kids who never had access to the internet, the cloud that you and I are able to do this stuff with, can do it now. They can learn. They can interact with us. We are going to be, if we're not already, a hyper-connected world. And for those listening to this in a, let's call it a first world country, one that's where digital kind of came by default, there are billions of people in this world where you're going to be seeing how hyperconnectivity is going to be changing their lives. And not just, hey, I've got a cool new phone. Healthcare, financial services, pharmaceuticals, helping people live longer, utilize life-changing, sometimes life-saving services. That's a big part of hyperconnectivity, is not just the cool stuff of it, but the life part of it as well. There's not going to be any slowing down. My big point to you guys is challenge your trusted suppliers to make sure that they can actually meet your needs of connectivity. Look to the future, and even yourself, you need to change and evolve to support this level of connectivity. And then most of all, don't be afraid of change. Complacency and losing that childhood sense of wonder to explore and understand new things is really what slows down innovation, right? So if you forget to dream today, you will never innovate tomorrow. That's something you have to think about. So this part of hyperconnectivity, the world that's truly connected, is not a bad thing, but it's something you need to embrace and think about. And most of all, think about how it's impacting you, your organization, and the people that you work with.